Alright everybody, how's it going? Quancredible here, and I'm here to give you the review on Black Clover Chapter 207. Now this chapter, I thought it was pretty hype. It picks up literally exactly where we left off in the last chapter, with Asta and the devil clashing together. The devil during their clash notes that his lance should be able to disintegrate anything it touches, but he looks mildly shocked that it didn't disintegrate Asta's sword. So he immediately gets Asta off of him and shoots the storm of swords at him. To which Asta needed the help of everybody else there, Patri, the Wizard King, and Lich to kind of protect him from that. It was also at this moment that notes that he feels some kind of nostalgic feeling coming from Lich. Now, I don't know if this is like further indication of Lich's son being somewhere inside of or anything like that. Also, we see that Cersei's sealing magic can also heal people, as she was able to reattach the first Wizard King's arm, or Lumiere's arm. It's definitely looking like her sealing magic is like borderline OP. Like it's kind of overpowered. There's also more of like Asta starting to, or not starting to, but Asta definitely more realizing who she is, or at least kind of figuring it out. But in the midst of this, the devil is still spouting how overconfident he is and how he's attained a new body and a grimoire, so none of this means anything to him. It's all worthless. But Cersei has a flashback of her and Lumiere talking, and him talking about how everyone's magic has potential just because of how different it is, and there could even be dormant abilities in some people's magic, which is really interesting because, I mean, granted, it probably doesn't mean much for people that have like an extremely basic element like fire or like water, but like definitely for people that have more obscure types of magic, like mirror magic, that might even have some type of other secret effects that we don't know about, or even anybody else's magic for that matter. I mean, just look at some of the captains. Like some of their magic, if it was just kept like a basic form, might not be that powerful, but it's just, I guess it's more as how you apply it that will take it to that next level. Anyway, after that small flashback of their conversation, the devil starts to unleash even more of that magic from the other world, just trying to let it flood through the Shadow Palace, just so it can, I guess, more or less kill everyone in there. It's at that moment that Lich seemingly uses the full power of the Demon Dweller Sword to draw mana from all of the surrounding elves in that area, including The important thing we get to see while he's drawing mana from all the elves is we get to see what's going on with everybody else. So we see that Fagolion 100% beat Kaiser. It wasn't like a draw or anything. Charmy and Rill were still fighting. So we can't necessarily say that Charmy just won. They were still fighting. I mean, granted, he does look kind of knocked out, but I think this is just more or less. I think this is just more or less him, like the magic being taken from him. We already knew that Charlotte was still in the dark cocoon with Yami, and that Raya and the other two were with Nozel. But we definitely see that Fauna is still with Jack and Noel, so it makes you think that their fight didn't really get any further than what it did. And then the most important one, or the most shocking one to me, was Veto. When his magic was getting taken from, he was laid out by himself with no Marileona in sight at all, which definitely leads me to believe that she's somewhere in the Shadow Palace on the prowl, and I think she's gonna make a appearance like towards the very end. But anyway, after he gathers up all the magic into his sword, he goes for like one ultimate slash against the devil, and this slash like is probably the strongest attack that we've seen thus far, just because it's combining magic from multiple high captain level fighters. There's tons of power in this slash, and it completely disintegrates the devil's entire body, as well as literally destroyed all of, well, not all of it, but a lot of that magic from the other world that was just surrounding him. The only thing that was left of him was his heart, and even then, for some reason, his heart literally grows a mouth and says heal, and he begins to regenerate. And like, this devil is so overpowered. Like, his magic is ridiculous. He, you would have to completely annihilate him to be able to kill him. However, it was at this moment that like Lich kind of looks back at Asta, and I think, my opinion, I think he knew that this slash wouldn't defeat the devil. I think he knew. I think he was 100% aware that this would not kill him all the way. I think he was doing this in front of Asta for a reason. Because it was at this moment where Asta, like, oh my gosh, that was the full power of this sword that I was carrying around this entire time that I was barely even using. Um, So Asta starts to wonder if his sword has another ability. And it seems like the overall theme of this chapter, through Cersei's flashback, through Asta realizing this was dormant power being able to be awakened. So this makes me, or not makes me believe, but this definitely solidifies the fact that Asta's Demon Slayer sword 100% has a second effect. And then we get the end of the chapter with Asta realizing, or not realizing, but Asta, I guess, trying to break his limits and obtain a even greater power than what he already has. So as for what this greater power could possibly be, there's definitely a lot of different directions that they could go with it. Could we possibly see a full Black Asta cloak, like two wings, two horns, all of that? We could see that. As far as the Demon Slayer sword, we could see anti-mana zone, where like just any magic in the area, be it from this world or from that world, completely could be erased or disintegrated. We could see that. We could see a combination of those two things together. Full Black Asta form plus that. Who knows? He could even possibly get like just only an upper body transformation. They could give him like some kind of weird Black Asta claw, similar to like in Naruto, how like when he would transform into the first state of like the tailed beast cloak, he could like extend his arms and stuff, but like have that, but with like his anti magic. I don't know. There's definitely a lot of different directions that they could go with that. If you guys have any ideas on what you think his next form will be, please let me know down below. As far as other things, I definitely think the end of this arc is approaching very quickly. I can't see this final fight lasting more than maybe 4 or 5 chapters, and then after that we might get like 3 to 4 chapters of like a recovery, like just like a kind of like more of like a climax kind of deal, just resolving random loose ends. But all in all, this chapter was really great for progressing the story. They didn't drag out the fight all that much. They're kind of definitely getting into the end part of it. Like I said before, let me know what you guys think his new transformation will be. Let me know if you guys have any predictions for what you think might happen. But yeah, like and sub if you enjoyed, and I will catch you guys in my next video.